I help folks open openness, get out of thinking, get into the heart, allow the universe to do its job, allow angels to do their job, and to tap essentially what everyone has as existing skills. That's just getting into the heart, getting out of what you know, getting out of structure, out of thinking. There's a trillion forms of thinking, there's a trillion organizations, there's a trillion ways we hold ourselves back from the actual moment. Call it non-duality, duality, consciousness, unconsciousness, love, unconditional love, thinking, the rat race up here. And this is just about slowing down, being in the moment. There's a real practical side to this, not just experiencing more peace, inner calm, healing, getting your rough edges smoothed out, stuff like that. But you can have any answer to any question, all languages spoken, all dialects. So I help folks take the baby steps. Whether you want to call it 70 baby steps or 10, it's simply interacting the universe with the universe without any boundaries. Getting out of thinking, getting into the flow, and artists know it, musicians know it, athletes know it, business people know it. When they're having a great sales experience, a sales week, and they're getting yeses from everybody. Everything seems easy, smooth, no resistance. So you drop out of what you know, you get to your heart, and that means expanding in all your senses. Feeling, seeing, hearing, and so on. And you connect to loving beings. These are beings who don't want to interfere. I say the same thing in terms of I would not want to change how anyone out there is rolling with their thinking. It doesn't mean that I support bank robbers. It just means not interfering is, I think, a greater act of compassion. My belief is that everyone is good exactly where they are right now, and they're getting exactly the experience they need. To go and flip that pancake a little bit, everything is your instruction. Love is in everything. It's in you and around you, and you only have to open your eyes, and that's a metaphor. You only have to open your eyes to discover more love. Thinking itself is what pulls us out of all of this. Thinking rules the roost quite a bit. Even when we've had incredible experiences opening up, even when we've met and walked with angels, let's say, or gotten answers, or seen our relatives, or Mary, Jesus, Plato, Muhammad, Mother Teresa, Chogyam Trungpa, Sai Baba, Sri Kaleshwar, Krishna, Lakshmi, if I didn't say Plato already. When you meet, or Native American figures, Geronimo, Dull Knife, Red Shirt, you've met these figures, you've gotten answers, you've gotten hugs. You've actually gotten to see them in your backyard, or if you're more comfortable, closer up. You've chatted, you've opened up, you've felt it, you've had a wonderful time. It's like going to Disneyland, or winning the lotto, or just having a spectacular retreat, or having had a return to the calm, inner well sense of being that you enjoyed as a kid in your 20s or in your 30s. There's still ebb and flow in life. We're human. And I don't like the way I'm about to phrase this. We're burdened with thinking. So our opportunity for growth, our opportunity for more peace, our opportunity for more love, our opportunity just to breathe more is in every moment. And I won't just say breathing. It's laughing, it's smiling, it's kindness. It's setting your intent. How about that? So there's certain tangibles. Breathing, smiling, dancing, running, exercise, hugging your dog, taking your dog for a walk, doing nothing, meditating, sitting still, appreciating, allowing, gratitude, all of this. There's a million ways into the heart, and there's a million ways that our thinking pulls us away from what's important. And that's what is the opportunity for all of us on this particular life path. And I think it's super exciting that angels have made themselves more available. There are photos of angels. You can visit my website, www.michaelandreford.com. You'll probably see that in the link down below. I was given beautiful photos of angels, fairies, Plato, and so on. You can use historical photos as well. Visit my website. On the front page, you'll find the Geronimo, Sai Baba, Audrey Hepburn, silhouette of an angel. Pick any of those angels, put your hand out, and don't touch the screen of your computer, but a few inches from that screen, and feel one of 1,000 ways to feel. Sparkle, or your fingertips, heat, high vibration, joy, There are no limits in life, and that's the biggest message I could pass along. There's always more love. There's always more possibility. There's no way that any of our words, our structure, our organizations, our experts out there can ever grasp all of this the whole way. There are a couple of limits. Some of us have signed up for certain paths. So if we pick the illness example, some stuff's written. I don't know how to say this, ditch it if it doesn't resonate. But let's say you have a particular disease, a particular situation, you've signed up for that. Maybe you can get relief on it, but you won't get that lifted off of you. In the same breath, take everything I said and, again, flip it. There are certain things you can ask for relief from and get it. That's really between you, the universe, angels. Also, what will you allow for is the most critical item here. You can be on the Watkins 100 list. If anybody's familiar with that Mind, Body, Spirit UK or English magazine, they have 100 top experts worldwide that epitomize spirituality. They have to have a social media presence, be on Wikipedia and all this other stuff. But I mean, there was a man or woman on that list who I couldn't finish I'd get asked questions. We're having a virtual tea together. I couldn't finish the sentence. And then they rung off pretty much within 7 minutes or so. So even if you're in the middle of spirituality, you're one of the publishing houses, you're one of the institutes, you're the renowned expert of whatever, could be breathing techniques, meditation, mindfulness, consciousness, you're still human, and the more it's an organization, the more it's a group of people, there's group thinking, there's group resistance to more love. And that's what this is all about, is not just what will you allow for as an individual, there's more peace, there's more harmony, there's more flow, there's more universe, there's more you. You have a higher self, a soul, you can see that soul in the sky. Like an aurora borealis is how I describe it. It's a direct thing. The more you connect to you, the more you shine and sparkle, the more everyone around you feels it, the more your presence goes out. I think that's super important. I think it's super important to not take any of this too seriously. It's super important to realize that the more you go cha-cha-cha in your kitchen, the more you relax, the more you're doing it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the wellness, spiritual, holistic landscape, as with anything else, is filled with as much resistance as it is opportunity. And this is still something that I think is a little bit ahead of its time. The concept of actually seeing angels, walking with angels as humans. You can do that as well. You can invite angels in as human beings in that form. That's the best way I can put it. You really have to set your intent on that. You have to be okay with seeing auras in the first place. In a little bit, I'll do what I've done on 15 shows in 2022. I'll blow a little bit of sage your way and give you a chance to smell that. But you don't have to wait for me. You could pause this video and just go to a lot of my videos on the website, the YouTube channel, or go to the shows where I did that for the host of a show, whether it's Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Germany, the US, and so on. Hosts get to smell sage smoke through 2 screens. Producers who are, back studio people have done that as well. Audience members have smelled it. So what I'm trying to suggest is, what does no limits look like? In the future for us, you should be able to see energy flows. Seeing auras on your hand, remember Celestine prophecy this way, in India this way. Seeing flows of light, wonderful. That's what you're rolling in. That's how you're transacting all the time. Everything is about energy. You are energy, and the more you relax, the more that vibration goes higher, the more you're loved, the more you're at peace, the more you're connected with all. That's what I think I'm talking about. What will you allow for is simply, will you enjoy and allow for being in your heart more, so that you're showing yourself more compassion and kindness, you're easing up on the thinking accelerator pedal in the car, and you're more enjoying the ride by being in your heart. Watch what happens when you put the ego in the back seat and actually just let things be the way they are. Don't force anything on anyone. That's why I love not trying to tell anyone anything. So forgive this video, forgive the website, forgive my doing stuff for folks. But there seems to be a very synchronistic fit with folks who do come over the transom, who do get in front of me, who I do help slow down enough up here to get to their heart to then experience the universe fully. That's, again, people meeting 170 plus figures, 100 plus angels. You're not going to get that all done in one session, but it's, I think, reasonable and if it's more than 2 hours, to meet 20 or 30 figures. So also, once you've met angels, you can meet your passed over loved ones. That's people who are reconciled. You talk to angels about that directly. You get comfortable with the whole concept. But then again, if you can meet angels, you're comfortable enough to do so. You're comfortable enough to ask questions. The answers and questions are private to you. The answers, again, you're hearing directly. I try to stay out of all details as much as possible. Again, I love the fact that this is in all languages and dialects. So if you're from Japan, I once helped 4 women. Most of the answers were in Japanese. I don't do Japanese. This is very, what you put into it is what you get out of it. So you can't be in a place of fear. You can't be in a place of judging or doubt. I had one of those people this summer that was just the only train wreck really in 10 years. Got that person a refund as fast as possible. But they're still okay. Anytime they want to drop the thinking, the words, the structure, they can still do this. And without me, they can just go to the website, use the photos that way. And my one rule is set your intent. Ask angels to get you out of your head, into your heart, and allow. Make it nice. And then own it with a thank you, rock and roll, amen, om sai ram, whichever way you roll, and do your own work. That's what this is all about. I provide encouragement. I definitely provide enthusiasm, motivation. I could be off the charts enthusiasm. I think you'll see that in some of the taped shows, podcasts, radio stuff. I am channeling quite a bit on those, and especially the more loosey-goosey I get. But the motivation, the enthusiasm also has a subtle component to it. The more stuck the person is, the more the person believes. I'm not going to say outrageous stuff, but they put themselves in a real bind. They're stuck. They're in a pickle. They say they can't do this, they can't do that. They've got a lot of extra words, extra structure, and that's normal for all of us. We all go through ebbs and flows. We all get stuck. We're all in certain situations. I think the real reflection on a person is how they handle it. If they could do it with grace, ease, joy, kindness, watch how fast everything resolves if you can just pump the brakes on too much judging. But I do lend a little bit of energy. And I was watching a Sri Kalishwar video that I've reposted, both of them, thanks to Alan Steinfeld of New Realities. Check out his YouTube show. Subscribe to it. I think he has 79,000 subscribers. He had a TV show forever, maybe 20 or 30 years, that was syndicated. He has interviewed everybody. But he was kind enough to interview for all of us Sri Kalishwar in 2000 in India. It's a 2-part series. It's up on my suggested reading page. Lots of great books, movies in there, music videos. But down at the bottom, you'll see White Robes, India, clearly. You'll see Alan interviewing Sri Kalishwar, who passed away, I'm going to have to guess, 2010, 2011, 22, at the age of 39 or 42. But boy, I'm the type that it takes me 50 times to watch something to keep picking up more and more detail. So every time I watch that video, it's extra peace. It's extra amazingness when Sri Kalishwar talks. You can meet Sri Kalishwar on the other side. Unconditional Love Guide. I describe him as love on an Indian breeze, just as I would describe Kupuna Auntie Margaret out of Hawaii as love on a Hawaiian breeze. She's fantastic to meet. So what do people get to do besides just getting answers, getting hugs, seeing angels, seeing relatives, seeing guides, seeing fairies, seeing light beings? That's all a lot right there. There's healing to be had. Colorblind people have seen color. You can walk the Akashic records that with angels. That's eyes closed. You can also expand your intuitive skill set. Now, I'd argue that just by going to your heart, you're expanding your intuition, your connection. I like that better than even the word intuition. I'm not really big on much of the lingo out there. There's no one way. You don't need seminars. You don't need institutes. Ditch my website altogether. But you have it all already at your fingertips, in your heart. It's in you and around you. It's the alchemist. Universal forces are in place to help you, if that's Abraham Hicks instead. You have it all. It's just you don't realize it. And the more realizing you do, the more self-awareness, the more self-actualization, the more slowing down, the more getting out of non-duality, duality, whatever you want to call it, the more getting out of word structure, the more just breathing, laughing, connecting, the more aha moments you have. And I love that Zen expression, chopping firewood one day, an explosion of realization, chopping firewood the next day. We still are going to have to pay the bills, do tasks, hit frustration, see something on TV about politics, not like a neighbor. Something's going to happen to unsettle us again. And this is what I was trying to make the point about. How we handle those challenges is part of the charm of life. All the time we have an opportunity simply to do more love, to take less action if it has to do with thinking, structure, words, and to do more being through the heart, which can still be action without thought. That's the ultimate inner, fearless, peaceful warrior thing. Again, another shout out to Dan Millman with his Peaceful Warrior book, the movie with Nick Nolte, Amy Smart, Scott Meklowitz. What a fantastic, non-denominational, a little bit of Zen in there, book to get you started if you're looking for material. That, again, is on the website, suggested reading page. What a fantastic story. There's a figure in there I like to try to help people meet, but we'll just leave that alone. Go, if I am going to recommend classes or anything like that, Dan Millman, check out his stuff. I haven't met him personally, haven't taken a class, but I do love that Peaceful Warrior book. I love the movie. One will not ruin the other. And I've found that both the movie and the book have so much stuff in it that whether it's your 10th time reading it, 20th time reading it, 40th time reading it, there's always something new in the book jumping out at you. Unless you're Einstein and you can pick up everything on the first read. I tend to not be that type of person. You can meet Einstein, by the way. You can meet Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, again, Plato. It's incredible because what I'm glossing over is all the personalities of these figures. Sitting with Plato and an angel named Joy would be enough for any situation. Get your action steps, get help with your decision making. Get help with just feeling more comfortable with your current surroundings, what you're facing. Get encouragement, get a mantra. You don't just put your hand out to the photograph on the website and feel that energy, but you could put your hand out and see the angel in your hand as a ball of light. You can bring that in for a hug. You can see the energy off a static photo on the website. You can see the energy while you're feeling it coming from the screen. You can see a flow of light. You can have a historical photo move, wink, smile, nod. That's Audrey Hepburn, for example, or Sai Baba's photo. I love using those two for that. You'll get a wink, a smile, the eyebrow will go up. And it's a wonderful time to experience your own ego. Your brain is going to react immediately and be like, I didn't just see that smile. And your heart's going to automatically say, what a wonderful smile. Oh my God, she just smiled at me. And you're going to feel good. So this is about getting back into the zone, your heart zone, feeling better, no try, allowing, being, nourishing your soul. I love that. Your soul journey. Someone once told me, I think it's Ursula Lentini in Atlanta. What a great metaphysician. I'm messing up that word, metaphysician. But what a great practitioner for a long time now. She's wonderful. I'll see if I can have her as a guest on the new podcast coming up in 2023. But she talked about accelerating the soul journey. I think she was trying to help me out with branding and marketing and stuff like that. So that is a little bit about what this is about. You're always good where you are. You're always getting your experiences. You always have the opportunity to learn and grow. Most of us being good Americans, good humans, are absolutely like that dog that doesn't want to go for a walk, whether we realize it or not. We're stuck in a job. We're stuck with relationships. We think we can't have something. We think we can't do something. We think we're very externally oriented. We think we can't just be at peace right now. And that's where I always try to point out in a lot of these shows lately, at least every other podcast or show, radio show, I've mentioned the following quote from angels. You can be happy in this moment right now without a single reason in the world. I didn't get it exactly, but you get the idea. That challenges everything we know. You think you have to do this. You think you have to go to this location that's sacred or spiritual. You think you have to grab this instructor, that instructor. You already have it right this second. You have the full powers of pick your favorite Jedi figure out of Star Wars or pick your favorite Tibetan Buddhist figure. You can meet Chogyam Trungpa. There's nothing wrong with him. He's reconciled now. If you had a problem with him when he was a human, that's over with. Mother Teresa as well, same thing for her. You can meet St. Francis, St. Anthony, St. Gerard, Mary Jesus Muhammad, Thich Nhat Hanh, other figures from India, Ganesh, the tiger, the Divine Mother, like I said, Sai Baba, just all here to help. You don't have to get caught up on the cultural stuff. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I'd be doing India figures at all, I'd be like, what? I wouldn't get it. There are Native American chiefs galore. I've lost both parents, one in 1970 when I was 2, the other when I was turning 23, I think. My mom passed. It was their time to go for both of them. Hundreds of people have met my parents. They're reconciled, not angels, but they give great advice. They're love. They're great guides. My mom's petite, artistic. My dad, tall, Navy. They're very, very short and sweet. My mom's very encouraging. And I just think that's wonderful that you can meet your own relatives, but sometimes that's the last group of figures you really want to meet because it's so emotional. There's so much emotional attachment involved. You're going to get choked up doing that. So it's good to take baby steps first, meet a few angels, see your energy first, smell some sage. Let's do that right now. I'm going to light some sage from Juniper Ridge, the California company. They're in all the Whole Foods, I think, still. I'm not sure how fast they are to respond on their customer service page, but everything else is fantastic. Their product's good. Their Douglas fir incense sticks are the only one to watch out for. Everything else lights really well, smells great. They could be a little expensive depending on how you view your budget. At $12, I think, for a pack of 20 incense sticks. They're on Amazon. You can find a link to their products on my website. I'm not compensated or have any affiliation with the company. Go ahead and just, as we discussed earlier, the only rule I have is the equivalent of a Boy Scout, Girl Scout pledge. Silently from your heart to the universe, set your intent. Ask angels to help you out of your head into your heart, to be at peace, and to be able to smell a little bit of sage smoke wherever you are around the globe right now. I've had this done by people in Italy, in France, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, America, all over. It doesn't matter where you are. And that's the entire point of the exercise. It's not time, distance. It's not structure. It's not what you know or don't know. It's not the situation you think you're in. It's not what the other people have learned or discovered or what science has learned. Oh my God, that is changing all the time. Wait a week, they make a discovery. 2 weeks later, that discovery is invalid and you got something new. Just allow. I love using humor because if you laugh, you're actually in your heart. There's a few folks out there that are judging and like, those are horrible jokes, and they just tense up more. That's not what this is about. Let it go. And here's a belated Christmas dad joke. Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, Dancer, just those two. Why do they drink so much coffee? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. Some people taste the smoke on their mouth first. Leave your mouth 1 millimeter open. It's an unofficial suggestion. It just, when you're clenching, making a fist, crossing your legs tight, you're blocking. When you're open, you're open. So breathe more through your mouth is the message. 1 millimeter open with the mouth. I watch people close their mouths again and again and again, 100 times in an hour. I've got to remind them, just breathe through your mouth a little bit more. Open, 1 millimeter. It just helps. It's an extra 10% boost. So here's a little bit of sage smoke. See what you can smell or allow for. Ask your cheerleading squad, your angels, your relatives to help you. You're a ball of light if you need a metaphor to think about. And you're inviting extra unconditional love, light to come in to help you. This would apply the same way if you're getting on a golf course and you want to go hit a better score on the golf course for 18 holes. You want to feel better, more relaxed, more at ease, just way, like once a year you played golf extra well. Or the tennis court, hitting strokes. Or just being relaxed enough to make a beautiful recipe in your kitchen or to go for a walk, take a nap. Enjoy your dog more. Most of us blow right past our pets. We're too busy with the news, thinking devices, iPads, iPhones, what we think we know up here when life is anything but what we think it is. It's a feast, partake. I'm quoting a Native American chief. So when my parents passed, 3 Native American chiefs came into my life, whether I knew it or not. Catch a little bit of sage. I'll put this down in just a second. You can replay this or go to any of the other videos to experience this. But when my dad passed in 1970, military sedan, when they break the news, my mom was probably like 23, 24. I'm like 2. So I don't have like firsthand knowledge of this in a way. A neighbor brought these 3 paintings, pictures that are done by a famous artist. They're hanging in my office, but as a kid, they hung over my bed of Dull Knife, Red Shirt, and Geronimo. Now, I've heard from angels that a couple of adults in the 70s and 80s as I was growing up accidentally kind of bumped into those photos and might have heard something from the pictures. So that's a lot for Americans who aren't spiritual or allowing for any of this to take in. But those 3 Native American chiefs are available to all of us. Dull Knife, Red Shirt, Geronimo, they're unconditional love spirit guides. they have a huge strength of helping anybody navigate from getting from point A to point B in life, whether we're talking health crisis, relationships, finding a job, doing this, doing that. You've just got to, you're the CEO of your own business, and you need help with your business models. You need action steps, who to call, what to do, what to stop worrying about, where to put your energy, where to put your focus. That's what this is about, whether we're talking angels, Native American chiefs, figures from India, fairies, light beings, spirit animals, and more, your relatives. You can ask a question, listen, and get any level of detail, any answer. If you're the pesky type of person, you're asking about business that has nothing to do with you, about someone else's business, then you'll be told to move on. Generally, I just don't get those types of folks. You have to be ready to go or being given a hall pass because you're so stuck that it's really not forecast that you're going to be out of your stuckness for another 2 to 3 years. But once in a while, I do get a person that has somehow gotten in front of me, ready to go, and it takes a lot more work, a lot more energy. I get very tired if it's beyond 3, 4, 5 hours. I love what Sri Kaleshwar says in his YouTube video, if I remember this correctly, and again, that's on my website under the suggested reading page. He talks about lending energy to help folks experience that opening. Now, when he talks, he's doing it in all the Indian terminology, all the India trappings, stuff like that. I don't have a great mastery of that lingo, but when you are one with everything, you're simply one with everything, and I would say that's you being in your heart, connecting to all that is with no barriers. The barriers kind of start from the neck up. It's all the thinking, the judging, the fear, the reacting, the knowing something that precludes possibility. Think about any of your knowing. You were a Democrat back in the 80s, today you're a Republican, or the other way around. Or it's football teams. You love this team, but then you move to Seattle, now it's the Seattle Seahawks. Everything's changing all the time. There's very little that we know that is in concrete, or let's go way beyond concrete, because that's usually just more ego structure, resistance. That's universal. And so let's flip that pancake again. Let's talk love. Love is the constant. Love is what makes life so enjoyable, the little things in life, just the sip of coffee and a sunrise. Love is what makes everything go round. You'll figure that out on your last breath when you transition over. Love is the sparkle, the joy. You would have no idea what just a wave, a smile, a well-wishing someone without them ever knowing that you're well-wishing someone. So we'll call that prayer or words of love that you're sending through the ether to someone, whether they know it or not, whether you're in their proximity or not. It's all the sugar and spice, the stuff that makes stuff nice. It's all the Disney films. It's all the letting go and relaxing. It's when you're an artist and you're not worried about anything. You're just doing what you do best. But that could be in the kitchen, on a walk, again, giving a hug to a stranger. I gave glow sticks out at the beginning of all this to strangers because I think glow sticks are so much fun. They're colorful. You break and shake, and that's the metaphor of this, getting out of the head and into the heart. When people wear a glow stick or do a glow stick necklace, I have a photo of a woman at a concert who stuck hers in like a chopstick through the back of her hair. It makes people happy. It makes others happy, whether they know it or not. Again, like dad jokes, there's people who are going to reject dad jokes. They certainly can reject glow sticks. They certainly can reject all of this, but that's their choice. People choose negativity, whether they know it or not. I do it. It's called thinking. It's called judging people who you think are uptight and they're not, or they're on their path and they're about to open up. It's Scrooge. We all thought Scrooge at the beginning of the Christmas Carol was the worst person in the world. We forget that by the end of the 79 pages or the end of the movie, he's the nicest person in the world, the greatest joy giver and bringer. He also does great business and so on. So this is the human condition. It's age old. I don't have any answers for you, but what's really nice is you don't need me. Ask your fairies, ask your angels, ask your guardian angel, ask your relatives for help with this. Ask for insight. Ask for the big picture stuff. What's it all about? You'll probably hear love more and allow more in each moment. It's about our spiritual growth. Whether you've had 1,000 past lives, 50, the details don't really matter. I can mention some of the other services you can find out about your past lives. Angels will talk about that. It's wonderful seeing with your eyes open. It's wonderful, the concept that if you're really good at letting go on everything I've described, You're seeing light beyond human definition. Colors that I have no understanding of how people could describe what the color is. It's a mix of peach and fuchsia, but it's neither. So it's from another dimension. This is an interdimensional experience. It's a multidimensional experience. It's channeling or holding the space or opening openness, as Buddhists or Chogyam Trungpa would say. That it's the occasion is always in the now, to quote Chogyam Trungpa from 2014. He passed away much earlier. And as a quick aside, a few of his students who studied under him in probably the 70s got to reunite. The Swedish testimonial, I think it's up on my link tree, it's up on the front page of my website. The fantastic woman, I think it's Lizette in Sweden, with the purple jacket, she's got such great energy. She called me an Energizer Bunny in her testimonial video and written. She had adopted 2 kids, I think, infants from Mother Teresa, and so I'd met her in person, I don't know when, 87 or so in India, and got to reunite as well. And that was the teary-eyed part. A lot of leakage when you're meeting your relatives. Also a lot of leakage or yawning on the front end. People crying as they release. Remember that thinking, if it happens more than once and it's the same topic, it tends to become like Samsonite baggage. It's like Jacob Marley. I never have gotten to say this before. Those chains, each link represents a different topic. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of this. I can never start my own business. I'm forever more blah, blah, blah. I mean, the brain can go in any direction, and it does. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here is give yourself a break, stop the knowing, pump the brakes on the thinking, stop categorizing as much, get back to, instead of it having to be a Hawaiian vacation that you take, instead of it having to be external, bring Hawaii to you. Chillax, be in your heart, feel the moment. Eckhart Tolle has such incredible exercises where you feel your toes. You reestablish your authentic presence. Let's do a Tibetan term, wind horse, ZG, your authentic power, whatever you want to call it. You expand the bubble of light that's you to connect with more around you, and you feel more in harmony with all. There's just so many little mini services involved. You can close your eyes and see angels. You can close your eyes and have India come to you. You'll sit in an India setting, usually under a big tree, with angels in attendance dressed like out of Bollywood India garb, with Sai Baba or other India figures. Your relatives are there, but they'll be parked in the back so you don't get too distracted. Just do a wave. A Native American setting. Native American chiefs. Again, I had a high school friend who is just a total genius. She learned Lakota Sioux. Who would have known that after high school? She was taught a song in Lakota Sioux, got to dance, I think, and smoke a peace pipe. At that point, no one had ever gotten that trifecta before. This isn't about any one exercise or anything like that, but there's healing to be had. There's more answers to be had. There's a vision quest. You're given beautiful stuff. You might be gifted stuff. Physical in the dream time. Necklace is put on you. You feel it. So this is with your eyes shut. I love giving people the opportunity to go to Hawaii. You can surf like a professional surfer. You don't need to know how to swim. You don't need to know how to surf. Angels make it nice. They make the perfect wave. No sharks. I was just in Hawaii. Holy cow. November, December is shark week out there, or shark months, breeding season. I saw a tiger, a great white shark, completely exit the water, 3 feet off the water. I still can't process that. I've done a lot of bodyboarding, a little bit of surfing in the last 40 years, and I've never seen anything like that. And a week earlier, someone had gotten totally pegged at our prior hotel, literally out back, and gone. Piece of bathing suit and snorkel made the news. So that's a lot to process. We'll just call that Mother Nature. But so this is safe surfing in Hawaii. You close your eyes, you can just sit like this, and everything is brought to you. You're in your heart. Angels will be surfing with you. One angel named Heather will be a dolphin. You can chat like Aquaman with the dolphin. Same thing, by the way, with your pets. You can hear your pets, chat with your pets. I describe them as third graders. That's just another extra baby step. If you think of everything as being connected and almost the same, we're talking just the heart being the heart. You doing you. You already have all these skills. You already use all these skills. You just don't give yourself any credit for it. You'll call it a business acumen and being a good business person. You'll call it being a good athlete. You'll call it being a good singer, or being a good artist, a good person with plants, a good person who takes walks regularly. But what are you really doing? You're intersecting with the universe. You're intersecting with greater love, with your own love. You're flowing everything you know, and you're getting past the resistance, the structure, the limits, all of our limits, egoic structure that's up here. The words, it's this way. Well, if you ask not just philosophers, but psychiatrists and others, and especially even the wellness and holistic and spiritual community, they're going to have labels for everything. It's not that. It's beyond it. Even when you say, I love you, it's not I love and you, the words, it's the vibe behind it. So we're talking a greater vibe, a greater flow, a greater glow. When you connect to your soul and everything that is, your eyes sparkle and shine. It's why you get attracted to certain people at a party just to chat with or be around or to listen to. It's some really magic stuff. And by that, I just mean more the highest vibe in life. You're capable of that right this second. If you need to do something to loosen up, start ignoring me completely, pull up your separate device, go find a photo of an angel, put your hand out, feel the vibe, see the light. See a light, pink ball light, joy, the very first angel people meet. I put her photo up on one of my videos. You can see a pink ball light, bring her in for a hug. Hang out on a beach in Hawaii. Hundreds of folks have gone surfing in Hawaii with angels. And I'll rephrase it this way. If there are no limits in life, maybe there are really no limits. Try telling a perfectly sane American adult, or just an adult in general from any country, that there are no limits in life. And they'll have 1,000 reasons why this is not possible. That's just the ego structure, mankind's knowledge, which is as good as about this much talking. But the heart is just this incredible, incredible dynamic. And that's what you've got a ton of, even if you don't believe in the heart, unconditional love, sparkliness, rainbows, unicorns, love itself, anything like that. You already got it all. It's just a lot of ego trying to trap you into a one-dimensional version of reality. You've got unlimited potential. You can get unlimited answers. That's something that none of us are accustomed to. We'd rather walk around with the situation for 3 months, agonize over it, wonder what we should do. We can just get straight, unadulterated, amazing advice. Remember that the beings that are unconditional love, angels, figures from India, Native American chiefs, and so on that are helping you have a clear view that's not restricted by or weighed down by like an anchor called thinking, or the rat race, or structure, or ego, whatever you want to call that stuff, the human condition. They're just here to help, but it could be argued. Think of that friend of yours, the cousin. Sometimes the situations that people are in are the best instruction. I think I'm borrowing from Pema Chodron. If everything's in your instruction, what you're given, Seneca talked a lot about this, is perfectly suited for you. So that's the wonder of life. You are the only one that can rediscover the wonder, the magic, the energy, the incredibleness that's both you and what you're experiencing, and then enhance that. So I love the quote that this is a little bit like the whole classic treasure map. And what you're discovering on the treasure map, the treasure is you, your heart, and your own unlimited abilities. So in each moment, that's the opportunity. And what I was trying to get at is each and every moment can be the same in a good way. A person's probably not going to be able to practice that 24/7 for a whole year straight. Welcome to being human. There's going to be limits, hiccups, bumps, ebbs and flows. That's just the nature of the game for what you've signed up for as a human being. But you can certainly expand the peace, the love, the compassion for yourself and for others, and flow it better to others. And it'll impact every aspect of your life simply by allowing more, trusting that the universe is really big, beyond comprehension, beyond the Hubble telescope or this institute's efforts or that consciousness institute's studies and so on. This is about more consciousness. This is about getting out of the collective unconsciousness, call it ego. Yes, there's negativity out there. I try not to focus on that. The big thing that I've learned, a couple thousand folks in 10 or 11 years, is where you put your focus is where you put your focus. If you spent 7 days straight talking negativity, what are you attracting more of? What are you asking for more of? You can take a guess. If you do allow that angels could exist, that the universe could be really big, that you don't know it all, that your words and your this up top is not the end all be all, that there could be a shinier, happier, more relaxed, I like that the best, more relaxed, enjoying life a little bit more, you. That's in reach right now. Meditation, consciousness people, what am I looking for? Mindfulness instructors are a great way to get started. Just simply set the landscape, set the platform, set the launching pad into the greater, what a lot of people call awakening, spiritual development, this, that. That just starts to happen naturally before bed. Ask for beautiful stuff to happen. Ask for complete strangers with sparkly eyes to cross your path and say just the right thing that you needed to hear at the right time. That's totally doable. Ask to just simply allow for more love, more peace to come in. This is the rub. Humans aren't used to allowing for the possibility for more love, for the possibility of a smoother road or path to walk. Angels can alter your path. You simply have to trust that angels even exist, and angels can get started. Invite them in. You can stay World War I about this trench warfare and be like, hey, I'm never going to hear, see, and feel. But I am going to trust that I'm heard. And I am going to trust that I'm going to get impacted in a beautiful way. So start outbounding one way. Technically, that's all you do day long. But most of it's negativity and you don't realize it. Thinking, I'm not trying to put a bad label on thinking. I'll make up percentages here. 70% is 1% negativity. Good 10% is the worst negativity you've ever heard. It's the worst judging, reacting, fear, stress, worry. It's a lot of words. It's repeated 1,000 times. It's Chernobyl. It's bad for your health. It's bad for you. It's bad for your flow. You become dental floss like Scrooge at the beginning of the book, blah, 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 blah. And a little bit of thinking is, when it's in your heart and there's words and structure, that's actually creativity. You're in the shower, you get that beautiful idea. You've got a dry erase board, get one for the shower so you can capture all your good ideas. Or you have a reporter's notebook, or you can type fast on an iPhone when you walk the dog. Those to me are the two most creative times you're going to get your best ideas. But start and learn to start teeing up the opportunities for your own expansion. That's all this is about. Instead, we get stuck looking at an iPad or watching TV or not doing things that give us a fair chance to break out of all this structure up top from the neck up. You have a wonderful heart, you have wonderful abilities, and that is also where if I get to work with longtime healers, 10 to 40-year veterans. A lot of them fall into a certain way that they only do stuff a certain way. They only see with their eyes closed, third eye stuff. You can see with your anyone can see with their eyes open. And what's also fun about this is you can ask to pick up a skill. You can ask angels to increase your repertoire. Very few of us are going to be told no on that. But if you want to become a healer via hands, ask to have those puppies activated. I'm trying to give you some sort of an example you can relate to, but whatever you think you can't do, you can do it. You have no limits. Good luck believing that. A good American, a good human being these days, with all the technology, science, and what we're being told, is going to have a harder time believing that. But my message, and this is really the message of angels, the very few things I'm saying in this or any of my other material, whether it's social media, the books, and so on, that's actually my own original stuff, it's really angels. Do not allow others to dictate your well-being. You have complete, I don't like the word control, but you have a complete say in how everything flows. So that's what this is really learning, is learning the real, and I don't like how this is going to sound, the real game of it all, the real game of life, like the little pegs and the cars on the board game. But learning how to operate a little more efficiently. And let's go back to Buddhism, Zen. Zhou Shu is one of my favorite. You can meet him. I'm going to get the AD BC thing wrong, but I think he was 700 AD. Zhao, Chinese philosopher. But there's always these quotes. It's a student asking a master a question, the master responds. I'll give you one example that's easy for me to remember. A student comes running up to the master, and it's usually a gotcha moment to try to show, the student wants to show the master that they're enlightened. They're no longer up here, they're down here, and it's usually a total fail. So a student comes running up and tries to ask an impossible question to the master, the Zen master. What is the white ox standing in the field? And the Zen master just takes his cane, hits the guy on the head, and says, "You dumb ox." Now, that's not the best example, but there's another one. The student comes running up to the Buddhist or the Zen master and says, what about it when I try to become Buddha? And the master says, "What a tremendous waste of energy." So in other words, don't strive to be something that you're not. You already have a heart. Get to your heart. Start living and learning there, because there's universal wisdom. There's truths beyond the human condition. There's life many forms of life beyond humans. We're not this. The brain wants to make you, your situation, the way you think your dynamics work, which is generally a lot of negativity, be the center of the universe, the center of your experience. It's why so much suffering happens. And it's just so much easier the second you start to disassociate, pull out of what you think you know. And the more you can be easygoing about it and easy on yourself, there's nothing really to do here. There's nothing to learn or to lose. Move past seeing the negative. That's straight from angels. So there's nothing to gain and there's nothing to lose here. You have it all already. It's more of a realization that it's beyond this wavelength that is negative to slightly negative to at least neutral 90% of the time. You can enjoy more positivity, a higher vibe in any which way you look at it. Just give yourself a break. Stretching. Get down on a beach towel, do a little bit of yoga, stretching, just lie there. You can bust out of what you thought you were in moment to moment and experience better, broader, higher vibe stuff through a million different steps. So back to the Zen master, the student. What if I try to become Buddha? What a tremendous waste of energy. And the student comes back with, well, what happens if I don't waste energy? Then you are Buddha, the master said. So I like that. There's also a quote on my webpage at the top from Geronimo that talks about you're still responsible for your actions. You're still responsible for your flows. That's one of the points in life, is to learn that you're generating electricity, if we want to call it that, a vibration all the time. Most of it's self-directed. I'm sorry to break that to you. It's why we're so down on ourselves. Then we get down on others. We just squash everything. And yet, when you do have those moments, maybe a movie made you happy, but it's not really making you happy. You're connecting. You're remembering kind of who you are, what you're about. You can unleash that more. I like that a lot. You can unleash your heart and your ability to love more in the moment for no reason at all, with no particular bent to it. You can simply love the smell of your coffee or tea, or love the sunrise or the pointy bird on the tree, the way the air smells. I just went for a run, my third or fourth run since getting back from Hawaii a while ago. Got knocked out, leave the details out, but it smelled like spring. And it was only, December 26th, and it was spring. I couldn't believe it. San Antonio, Texas. We have San Diego-like weather here. We'll be 70 to 75, the next 7 days or so, 45 to 60 overnight. It smelled like spring. And I know I've got weeds coming up after this freeze. I'll have weeds coming up in January to prove that it's spring. I've had sunflowers come up as early as January 12th, but usually that's February. And by April, I can have a 4 or 5 foot sunflower growing. A lot of the flower photos, if you've seen those on my social media, are ones that I grew 2 houses ago in Austin, Texas. Took photos of. I love growing flowers. I get some help from angels with that and with the photography. So love more, allow more. You can be happy in this very moment for no reason at all. That would be sort of the big takeaway. Take a breath right now on it. If you would, let's go for a classical spiritual cliche, but don't do this. Just do this, or put a hand out at a concert is such a great place. It doesn't have to be Machu Picchu, an ashram in India, any one particular guru, anything. It doesn't have to be a meditation class, yoga. Concert's perfectly good. High vibe concert. Put your hand out. You can feel an angel, Audrey Hepburn. Hold your hand, joy. I'm trying to give you as much context as possible. There's a million ways to experience angels. You can ask for your mother's cooking if your mom's passed over and catch that in the air. Audrey Hepburn will bring you a French perfume yet to be invented, and you just are bowled over by it. You can smell, and I do this with a lot of folks, you can smell Hawaii. A beach in Maui is brought to you wherever you are around the world. You're not in Hawaii, but you get that beach smell. You can close your eyes, hear the palm fronds, the wave action, get the floral scent on the air as well. Back to the surfing metaphor, it's like dream time if it's Aboriginal lingo. Lucid dreaming, yeah, but nah. It's angel time. Maybe I can describe it that way. 5 minutes of our time is 10 minutes over there. It's just beyond time and space. It's beyond the human lexicon of stuff. It's beyond psychiatry. It's beyond the scientists. We were talking surfing in Hawaii. Angels can do a lot of stuff for you, get you straight answers, which is what you're primarily going to be interested in at the outset. You can get hugs. I argue that one hug is worth 100 questions. It feels good. And that loving, healing vibe, which you could get repeated like waves through you of compassion, will help you let go of what you know. 5 or 6 good hugs and you're yawning. 5 or 6 good hugs and you're tearing up. But then you can start to play around a little. You can have a retreat. You can have India brought to you. You can sit in a Native American setting with your eyes closed. You can be instructed on stuff. You can ask questions. You can just be like, hey, sock it to me, angels. They already know what's best for you and where you're at in your life and where things are headed. They won't spoil the fun of the future for you, but they can alter your path. They can enhance what you experience. They can help you grow in wisdom and comfort and your inner peace, your flow, love, and so on. My favorite to offer folks is Hawaii. You get to go surfing like a pro. And again, if you've just come in on this broadcast, this show, go back to the part 1, the first 50 minutes, and start there. But plenty of people have had Hawaii brought to them. You get the smell, the wave action. There's a certain method you kind of transition into. It's a multi-dimensional, trans-dimensional experience, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. You feel like you're in Hawaii. And you get to surf, again, like a pro. One angel is like a dolphin. You get to chat with her. But I've had people who have done this simultaneously. So they're sharing the same experience. I believe 3 women at a mega institute this summer. This is still 2022, so it would have been July, got to share that experience. Very special. It's usually more friends or husband and wives or something that they get to share something like that. Now let's back up. Forget all this vacationing, spa, retreat, holistic, incredible spiritual experiences that you can have with your eyes closed in sort of the traditional this way. You can outright ask for seeing light around you. Start with the exercise of putting your hand up to the photo on the screen. Go to the front page of my website, find Audrey Hepburn's photo. Geronimo is such a sweetheart. It's an older picture of Geronimo. Let his eyes move in the photo a little. Sai Baba's fantastic. Mr. Miracle's tight with angels. You don't have to be into the India cultural thing. You don't have to know what Satori is or Samadhi or any of the other stuff. Just trust that your heart is already there. It's bigger than the Wikipedia or the Tibetan Book of the Dead or Dying, whichever it's called. It's bigger than all the source material we've got and all the experts we've got for the last 3,000 years. Your heart is totally capable of a lot of amazingness and a lot of miracles in the moment. You just have to learn how to get out of your own way, to start asking smarter questions, to start asking for help from these figures in a smarter way that gets you going faster. And you have to learn how to get out of your own way, out of everyone's way, to let angels do their job. Once in a while, I get a really strong character who just doesn't know how to, they talk themselves into a bigger hole and block further rather than just allowing and letting the job get done. This is really basic listening, feeling, seeing. And when you get your eyes closed, if you've done it with your eyes open, seeing angels or getting answers or getting hugs, why wouldn't you be able to go surfing or simply sit in a peaceful India setting? And that could be with the Divine Mother and that tiger. The tiger is action, wonderful. Plenty of people can stick their hands out with their eyes closed, eyes open, and feel a tiger walk by in the fur. It's a friendly tiger. You're not going to get eaten, but one of the best experts on action. And all these figures can walk your path with you. It's really what will you allow for? What will you allow yourself to appreciate more? It's so much easier being stuck in ego, a false security blanket with what you know. And think of every career professional, including myself as a public relations person on Wall Street, or even in this role. There's stuff that I think I know. It blocks my expansion. It's always a clean slate. It's always wide open. It's always more sparkly, humorous, and joyful. But we cut ourselves off by resting on our laurels, resting on accomplishments or failures, or what we think we know our situation is or other people's situations are. So my advice is dumb it all down. It doesn't mean you can't have all your answers or get your entire book that you want to write given to you by angels. You can do it dream time. You can do it in the shower. Have that dry erase board handy. You can do it practically speaking. I think the record is 49 pages of answers in 9 hours in Australian. I just checked in every 2 hours. You can do it while surfing. You can go beyond words and have a symphony of light given to you that's 50,000 words that'll unpack over time. Think about how limiting all words are, unless it's a mantra. But you can get a mantra not just from an India figure, but from like an angel or a Native American chief. Say it with that figure 5 times while your hand's up to the photo, seeing light streaming back and forth, universal light, love, whatever you want to call it, consciousness itself. That's what this is all consciousness. You can meet Joseph Campbell, Joe, Fantastic figure. You can meet Einstein. A long list of 170, I think, plus figures. I'm not even counting all the angels, guardian angels, the team members that are for all the different people out there. It's in the tens of thousands, I assume. I have no idea how to quantify that. This is just really what we allow for. I think meeting a couple figures is plenty for anybody. This shakes the reality, shakes the foundations a little. The more married you are to it's exactly this way, it's black and white, and it's not, it's color. That's what's going to happen anyhow with an illness, a car wreck. Just when you get done living your life, that last breath, you may be a stringent abolitionist on some topic. And when you get across the finish line, I would only point out if you're not talking to angels now, in this lifetime, you're probably not going to be talking to angels on the other side. You're probably going to be 3 lifetimes away from even getting there. I'm not trying to judge any of it. I'm just saying openness is openness, and you can open openness. And that just means more love, more sparkle, more flowing love, feeling love, sharing love, being. And so I love Shakespeare, to be or not to be. That's the question, and the only question. Have you lived your life fully? Maybe that's probably too hard of an edge to it. Getting started living sometimes starts when we're in our 40s, 50s, 80s. Teenagers knew how to do it at one point, but the adulting experience is it's like a tidal wave or a tsunami that comes in and wipes out everything you did learn or knew as a kid. And you can reestablish that any time. You never missed a step. You never skipped a beat. Think about the peak moments in life. You never lost that melody. You have that now. You simply have to allow for it. And the key ingredient here, or the key ingredients, are slowing down, patience, trust, gratitude, appreciation, allowing. I'll throw in anything I can think of. Awareness. This is about growing your awareness, not your thinking, not your knowledge. If you're a hardcore naysayer, a critic, it can't be this way and everything else, you're practicing negativity. And the only person you're hurting is yourself. That's going to happen regardless. We humans, we judge other people. We think we're right about something. This is so far away from right or wrong. This is about proper understanding. This is, again, back to that quintessential concept that can take you years to appreciate. This isn't about gaining or losing anything. Move past seeing the negative. This is about simply expanding, connecting to what already is within you and around you, the universe. More consciousness, more touchy-feely, more fun. But let's back up a step. All of us have situations, business, careers, what to do next, how to get out of this situation, how to be more at peace. We want our answers. And that's what I think is so pretty, so fabulous about this, is you can have all your answers. How fast can you write? How fast can you get comfortable with the concept? And then you can learn to sharpen your questions so you can get more done in less time. I think angels just know how to answer anything. So if you only asked one question, hey, what do I need to know next? And that's the only question you were allowed to ask for 10 years, you would live the most fabulous life. You'd have to be ready to play ball with this entire concept that angels could exist, do exist, that you can see them. You can walk with your hand in hand with an angel in full-on human form. Now, that's only a handful of folks that have done anything like that. I think it's a lot for our psyche and where we're at now as humanity as a whole, just to allow for the concept of getting your answers. So picture that researcher, consciousness studies, the whole team at Stanford or wherever we're talking about. It'll probably be another 15, 10, 5 years before they come knocking, want to meet their angels, chat, and shortcut stuff. And even if they did get their answers to whatever studies, odds are they're just going to fill up the freed up time with more research. So my advice still is it's not about the achieving. It's not about the proving it. There's a ton of really famous folks running around trying to prove stuff right now, and that's fine. They're doing great. Keep proving it. But you can just start experiencing a little more love, a little more peace, a little more compassion, and get a broader perspective. How about that? Angels can show you visions. You can stand on the top of a Tibetan mountain next to Chogyam Trungpa. He'll bring you a Tibetan wheel. I don't know all the symbology stuff or the trappings of the different cultural things, but that, for those who are like a wine connoisseur, knows their wines. They like reds from the Bordeaux region, but not American reds. That's what this is about. So that's also pretty cool. If you're a 50-year Tibetan Buddhist expert, you should be just falling over yourself to actually hang out in Tibet with your eyes shut, with not just Chogyam Trungpa, but angels who can talk the talk, all the Dharma lingo stuff. Same thing with India. What a great opportunity that is. Same thing with the Native American settings. Meet Dull Knife, Red Shirt, Geronimo, Crazy Horse, Red Cloud, Chief Joseph, White Buffalo, Calf Woman, Black Elk. I'm still skipping one, I'm sure. There's a lot of beauty there. You can smell different sage, Douglas fir, sweetgrass, juniper, tobacco, a lot of sacred stuff there. That's kind of it. I'm going to change tacks. Instead of talking angels and the whole what you experience, there is a new podcast coming out. I'm going to interview folks. I don't think it's going to be any set, finite anything, no structure. It's not going to be every Tuesday that a new show comes out, but I think I've got plenty of people to draw upon who are maybe podcast show hosts themselves, so I'll be plugging their shows quite a bit. I may have been on their shows. They definitely will have met angels already with me, and they'll have an opportunity on the show anywhere from 45 minutes in to an hour in to take 5 to 15 minutes to do a bunch of angel exercises. So you can appreciate and feel more comfortable about this topic by watching someone else do it on the camera. But you are going to get a nice intro to them, to hear the experiences they've had in life, where they're coming from, how they've grown, the challenges they faced, the advice that they want to give you that they've learned from decades, a decade to 3 or 4 decades of experience, and how they would shorten it all up into 3 tranches of great advice for you. They may do some listening from angels directly and give you some more advice as sort of spur of the moment stuff. I will try to be my usual overly enthusiastic person and throw in some stuff as well. The show again is called Angels, Positivity, and Love. I've already created a page on the website that's under the shows button. So the first part is Michael as a guest. The second part is the new 2023 podcast. Now, I can't use my laptop to record. I've discovered that. It just froze at the 50-minute mark for the prior video. So this is part 2. It'll be done through Zoom, and I hear Zoom is fantastic for recording. I've yet to ever hit the record button on Zoom, but I will be figuring all this out. You can, again, check out the logo cover art for the podcast. This will be housed, though, at YouTube at my Michael Andre Ford pre-existing channel with 250 subscribers. Go to the social media contacts section under extras on the website. You can get straight to that YouTube channel at Michael Andre Ford. That's it on the developments. I think there's 5 to 7 podcast shows that are in the works. I'm doing one tomorrow, Saturday, that I don't think airs until I just realized the first week in January. I have anywhere from 3 to 7 percolating around, and some of them are about to get booked, so that's exciting. Good start to the year. I could always use more likes, subscribe hits on the YouTube page. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to put a lot of effort there and have a lot more material coming out. I've essentially given away my services for the first 8 years for free. I still give away my services all the time. I'll pop on for tea or coffee with someone who's usually established, has books out, is in the woo-woo-woo spiritual arena. Sometimes they're in a pinch, and I'm very blind on how a person is. I have figured out in the last year, it's official, if they sit there with zero emotion or they say they can't 4,000 times in a row, you should probably trust it that they can't, or that they are going to take so much effort that it's okay to cut losses. So I have put up a policy to refund people. If I get an hour, 3 hours in, and they're not showing a lot of joy, smiling, they're getting stuff done. They're getting hearing, feeling, seeing, a hug, whatever. I may put in a policy where I could just say, hey, hold on, everyone. Don't worry about it. You've done great. They always have done great. They don't know it most of the time. But then I might just refund them on the spot. I'm mentioning that only because I think I did 2 refunds, 2.5 refunds last year. And I think in the entire 10 years, it's under 10, under 5, something like that. So I'd consider that a pretty good success record. Even the ones you're refunding, I got a guy who did everything, and I still refunded him 50% of his money. So refunds are fine. I do have to take out the PayPal transaction fees forevermore, so it won't be a complete 100% refund. That's also noted on the website. It's been a wonderful experience, though. There's always, I'm learning from every single person I get in front of, or that gets in front of me. And there's always a new technique or a new exercise. It's very interesting how this develops or unfolds. You can smell any flower, any plant, any beach. You can get a wind in the room. So think of this as juggling balls. The first ball would simply be allowing. The second ball would simply be maybe seeing light. The third, smelling that sage. The fourth, letting a photo move. The fifth, getting a hug. The sixth is a big ball, like a beach ball. It's getting all your answers. And once you get into the swing of that, you're kind of like, oh, I'm on board. I could use all the answers in the world. What's great about the answer thing is pretend you spent 10 hours getting anything you could think of fully answered. Your situation changes. Welcome to being human. And 3 months later, you probably need all those answers all over again. And you always need encouragement. I mean, half of us, it's like a really deep hole. We're trying to fill it with shovels of sand, and we never can fill it. So that would be another message to folks, is just relax even more. If you could only understand how the brain gets in the way of the peace and harmony that's already within you and around you, and then that is such a constant. That is such a thing to appreciate. That is such a thing to merge with, that you can still keep all your lingo, and what you know never really does leave you. You can ask angels to carry your burdens for you. They've got great wheelbarrows, big shoulders, whatever way you need to imagine this, but they'll carry it for you, but within sight, so that you, you're not trying to climb Mount Everest. I think Elizabeth Gilbert said this whole spirituality thing was like trying to swallow the sun. I can understand that point of view, but it is far simpler than anyone makes it out to be. The experts, every other person who's either being interviewed on a YouTube show and everything else. You want to meet light beings, meet light beings. You want to meet fairies, meet fairies. You want to meet an elemental or a jinn who's East Asian mysticism, who's a wonderful petite fellow like a Chinese Zen master. Oh my God, meet him. He's awesome. Want to meet your relatives? Meet your relatives. Meet angels first is my only kind of precondition. Get that done. They'll be your guide. They'll be your host, your ambassador. Now back to seeing lighter consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, the Force from Star Wars. I start people off with baby steps. You see it on your fingers or your hands. You hold your finger up. I've been doing this for the last couple of years. You look at the lighter, say any color you think you see. Good old American Bic lighter. You see white, gold, yellow, pick a color. What do you see? It's a standard one-dimensional experience. But if you loosen up a little bit, relax, go listen to your favorite music, walk your dog, take a hot shower, read a book, wherever you're happy afterwards, lighter, ask an angel to come in and see extra light around the flame. Or just hold your finger up, make it the Bic lighter itself. You could see my energy off my hand if you wanted to really let go right now. Let me look away. You could see my energy right here. And we may have had 20 minutes ago a white light come through the video. I saw that. I didn't call it out. That's a rarity. You can videotape balls of light, the universe. I do photos. I did that out of panic 10 years ago because I didn't know what I was seeing. I was slow, made me feel better, but I was given beautiful photos of fairies, photos of angels. Go find those on the photos for sale page, $3 each. I finally put that up, delayed for years. 4 years I delayed on that. Pick a photo up for $3, not gonna hurt anybody. Put it on your iPhone, carry it around. Joy is, I think, the most fun as a starter. Pink ball of light, she's your ambassador, communicator. Ask to feel an amazing vibe all over you. Feel it. So allow, ask, and receive is almost a mantra. Ask her to do something for you. Catch the smell of the ocean, put your hand over the photo, feel the vibe on your palm. Let her change colors in the photo. Let her move in the photo. There's no limits here. Ask what you don't even know how to ask for. Ask more is what I was given in January, almost a year ago, by Charlotte. And I love that because you don't need to know what you're asking for. Simply ask more. What a great mantra. Be more, love more, allow more, more smiling, less thinking. More breathing, less thinking. More yoga, less thinking. More walks, less thinking. More tree hugging, less thinking. More hugging your dog, less thinking. Less cell phone, less thinking. How about that? Less TV, less thinking. More books, less thinking. You get the idea. So this is about getting out of here, getting to here, getting out of your own way, because all of us have certain ways we're rolling that we don't even realize, but we're still responsible for, that we're operating in a kind of a negative vibe. let's do it a different way. Pick any podcast show that has more than 20,000, 50,000 followers and look at the comments page. If they typically have 200 to 1,000 comments, oh my God, that is human nature. That is where we're at. There's people who say, what a wonderful guest. They did such a great job. They share something positive. There's people who are like, that person talks in circles and can't answer a certain question. And then there's everything in between. There we are for human beings. We have an opportunity, and I'll go big picture what angels have said. In my Listening to Angels book, this is in the appendix section. Why angels now? Why more available now? What's in store for mankind? Call it an awakening if you wish. It's just a little bit more gentleness, kindness, compassion in each moment. All moments can be the same. Good luck with that. So how about we just say 7% less thinking a week or per day? Get a calculator out, figure out how much time that is. But it means breathing easier, feeling more, tasting more, slowing down more to taste. Drink half the soda can instead of the whole soda. Grow your awareness, not your thinking. How about that? My little book, Listening to Angels, is not really written by me. I saw balls of light as I was typing. It is the most gentle book. Read my 1-star review at Amazon. My author book page is amazon.com/author/angels, or go to my social media page. There's a person who criticized everything but the book and said that they wish they could have gotten a refund on the book as well. Look at the other reviews and read the book yourself. It's $4.99. It's practically free. It is the most wonderful little book. It's a 1-page foreword, half-page intro, 4 pages, how to meet angels. So again, you would never need me. You meet 7 angels, including Archangel Michael. I think Gabriel's in there as a 4th. If you see 4 triangles that are rainbow light, like pie slices, that's all over my website, my social media, that photo. That's 4 archangels. I cropped it, so there's 3 more off camera. To show you how slow I am on the uptake, I'm super slow. 2 years to do stuff that all of you do in 10 seconds. But I'm very creative and very good at lending energy to help a person open to get a phenomenal, miraculous experience that usually short circuits everything they know. And once in a while, they tighten up so much afterwards that it was too much. But the point of this is there's 3 more off camera: Jophiel, Shamuel, and Zadkiel. But because those names were so hard to learn, I think I put that off for 3 years. It's like posting the photos themselves on sale on the website. I delayed forever on that one. So pick up a photo, get it on your iPhone, get it on your iPad, print it out if you want to. What will you allow for and what will you experience? You may be just peeking at it and it moves. You may hear a high, peppy voice, hello, and that's Joy. She's the ambassador communicator of angels. She's the emotion Joy. Just think of her as a consciousness blanket around the globe. Pink light. She can show up as any colored light. Silver flecks of light like fish breaking the surface of the water if you want to look up at your ceiling. And let's get back to another sort of effect and experience, something you can do. You can see light all around you. You can see angels themselves. They have a million ways to show in light energy form before you go and take that huge step off the cliff of seeing them out your window full on standing there or walking with them as a human. That's a lot. So you can see them in light energy form. And Joy, just because she's a pink ball of light in my photo, it doesn't mean she shows up as pink. It could be silver, it could be yellow, it could be anything. Generally, silver flecks of light, or a pink shooting star, pink flash of light, pink ball of light, pink heart. It goes on and on and on. There's no one way. Just as there's a million ways to get a single hug from an angel, no 2 hugs have to be the same. Somehow all the angels have different ways of also impacting you. So while, let's say you get 30 hugs from 30 angels, no 2 hugs have to be the same. You can ask for the same hug if it was that good. I don't want to be limited in anything I say here, so flip everything I say and do the opposite. But you can get any hug. Hugs, a million ways to get a hug. Just as there's a million ways to say something. If you ask an angel or 100 angels a day, you ask 100 times to define compassion. I must have 50 definitions of compassion. They're all incredibly beautiful. They're at the top of my website on that front page, the slideshow at the top. There's a bunch of compassion definitions up there. That's in my social media posts over time, Twitter and so on, Facebook. It's just incredible how angels are so beyond the human dynamics of just words and just structure and knowledge that limits. Plenty of knowledge that we're holding on to allows for possibility. And there's a lot of knowledge that precludes possibility. Science, they do a lot of precluding a possibility. And that's what makes science so fantastic. And for certain scientists that have still got that je ne sais quoi, that energy, that spark, that enthusiasm to discover more, that's what makes it so exciting for them. More opportunity, more chance to discover more for them in the whole field of science. There's no limits here. So keep discovering, keep researching, but try to keep as much of an open mind as you can. Anything you are resting on as a foundation is usually more sand, quicksand, I think they say. That's where I like to go back to Love Actually, or Love Is, or Allow More Love, or unlimited potential on everything. So I hope this has been a good chat. I hope you found something out of it that could be of use. You have the Listening to Angels book. You have me on a ton of shows talking about whatever. I think it's less what I talk about. It's more about the vibe. There are some interesting details, though. My social media has tons of stuff. There's been a lot more exercises to do lately. Like what you can like. Say hi where you can say hi. You are always welcome to find 3 or 4 enthusiastic friends and come up with a little proposal. I can help people individually at first, and then we bring you all together, and you can have shared experiences. That's pretty cool too. So you're not just seeing light on your hands, but you're seeing the light flowing between you. Angels also have an incredible way of bringing you glitter in the air. I think at least one person in the last week got to get butterflies made out of light. So it wasn't that 4,000 monarch butterflies flew in from South America or South Texas and they're real. They're real, but they're made out of angel light, and they're probably multicolored and so on. It's your personal experience, what you allow for. So this is off the charts for what we're accustomed to. We've yet to learn how to appreciate this fully. So, I've probably gotten 7,000, 8,000 no's from some highly established people. But the good news is I've got 3,000 yeses, 100 plus testimonials. People can do it as a group. There's photos of angels. I'm off the hook. I feel very fortunate about that. I try not to tell you a thing. So even if I'm hearing it directly, it just means I try to go gentler, if anything. The strongest experience you could have is the one you're already having, and doing your own self-discovery, your own learning, your own ownership of the moment. There we go. I've been working for an hour and a half now to find the words, but it's your owning of your energy. It's the owning of your connection to the universe. It's the owning of your being, your essence, and allowing it to, how about flare up, to allow it to flourish, to allow it to grow and connect to your higher self, so that you expand. It's a lot of fun stuff. Okay, so you have a website that's been revamped. You have a lot of podcasts. Check out what you can check out. The Listening to Angels book is a super easy purchase. If anybody wants to do a book review, thank you. I think I only have 18 or 19 of those. The YouTube channel is going to be a lot of fun. It already is a lot of fun. There's tons of content. There'll be more content like this going on more often. Subscribe there where you can. And say hi on social media. I've got that all clearly listed out. If you want, go crazy right now. If this has resonated with you, put your hand out, eyes closed. If you need to be more comfortable, it's easier that way, but who cares? See if you can feel what you can feel in the hand. Ask an angel to step in. Really give yourself a break. My only rule or structure as a reminder is simply setting your intent. So first, ask angels, hey angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Make this nice. Amen, rock and roll, thank you. Own it in your own signature patented way you would talk. If you're Catholic, then you would do amen. Address it to angels, Mary, and Jesus. I know not everybody believes in Mary, so however you roll, do it that way, but include angels, talk to angels. They're just unconditional love beings beyond human thought, not limited by what we're limited by. They're purely here to help. They come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and backgrounds with different special abilities and purposes to help you through your particular life stage. So that's pretty incredible on its face. They dwarf our grasping ability. They exceed our grasping ability. They're super gentle though. They're super fun. They won't interfere. What do you need help with? Ask for it, allow for it. Catch yourself before you allow your words to become energy and limit yourself more. Instead, learn how to be more aware of how you're flowing your energy so you can become more aware of the difference between thinking or unconsciousness or negativity or limits or what you know, and then love, openness, unlimitedness, more sparkly stuff. And as soon as you begin to understand the difference here, the sooner you can get going on an even more wonderful, glorious journey. You can learn the difference between how you're flowing your flows, your energy. Are you flowing love, or are you flowing control? Are you flowing rejection? Are you flowing hate? Are you flowing stress, fear, worry? Are you reacting? That's up here. Or are you supporting? Everyone's on their path, perfectly so at this moment. But when you look at 7 billion people on planet Earth, or 8 billion if we just hit that, there's trillions of thought forms. There's trillions of ways that the ego or the global collective unconsciousness can say, better not, or this isn't possible, or this can exist. Scientific community, half of it, I'd say, would probably sign a petition saying this isn't possible. Plenty of organizations and structures who have the title of headquarters of all angels. If I go knocking on that door, they'll say, go away, we're looking for angels. I'm borrowing from Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. Persig, I didn't get to meet him. I got to talk to his caretaker as he was on his last, I think, hospice or last stages of life. He was fascinating to interact with. But I love Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance for some purposes. He had some great quotes in there. Strange but true was what he said about that quote. So if you go running up to the consciousness community and you're like, hey, do you want to experience more consciousness? Good luck with that. If you go up to the light being community and you want to help them meet light beings, or the SETI or the METI or the alien paranormal UFO community, odds are it's more fun to do the research. They're on their life path. They've got their, incremental, they do their thing, lots of reporting, lots of tweets, lots of this, Pentagon, lots of issuing this. But do they really want to risk their identity, their role, their established societal positions to actually meet angels, their relatives, to get their actual beautiful answers? It's the equivalent of the amazing Machu Picchu trip. It's the equivalent of that amazing time in India for 3 months or 10 years doing stuff. It's a lot. It is like, I forget who said this, it is like swallowing the sun. We'll do the Elizabeth Gilbert thing, but I don't think there's any heat involved. I think it's actually just sort of a broadening of perspective, broadening of one's awareness, broadening the sense of humor too. You don't take stuff so seriously. You don't take yourself so seriously. You don't take your situation so seriously. And you certainly don't take other human beings so seriously. Oh my God, human beings can be all over the map. But what is so incredible about meeting one human being after another is, first of all, it's soul to soul level contact happening, no matter what you think is transacting on this front. So it's a chance to slow down, be kinder, be gentler, and it all starts with you discovering your own toolbox, your treasure map, your treasure that's you. So I hope this video has been helpful for your journey. Most of you are already well on it, but if you have questions, get that little teeny book, give it a go. Play around first with the photos of angels at my website. Check out the other videos. I'm blowing sage, smell sage, whether you pick Stephanie Cornelia or Cornelia Stephanie, I messed up the name, or any of the hosts. I'm going to mess up every name today. Manon Baliger in Canada, or Diane Forster. Oh my God, I love her. Or I think I might have done that for Joan of Angels and Alan Steinfeld. Again, please be sure to check out the YouTube video of Sri Kaleshwar and him back in 2000. I have thanked Alan profusely 3 or 4 times now when we've spoken for him having done that. I don't know if he understands how historical he captured a human Sri Kaleshwar who's so fantastic talking. And I just, to me, the words reverberate. I love it. I know a lot of people are into Sai Ma or other figures. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Or Ram Dass. So have fun with everything. Happy 2023. Look forward to new material. And if you want, we'll give you a final exercise for anybody who's hung in there long enough for this. You can feel my energy, only unconditional love, compassion. I'll put my hand up and I'll tell one more dad joke. What do you call a baby camel born with no humps? Hump-free. Relax, feel what you can feel through 2 screens. There's no time and space. You could be in Serbia right now. You could be in Bora Bora, Tahiti, Mexico, Colombia. Feel what you can feel. And then move past me. Go find a photo of an angel, feel what you can feel, see the light, ask for your favorite flower smell. Pretend you're walking into a 5-star restaurant run by angels. Let them do their jobs. Let them show you hospitality. It's great to have a long list of questions, but first get comfortable with the concept of getting out of the linear, what you're comfortable with, and getting into the more trans-dimensional, interdimensional, the no limits, the beyond 3D. Is that what we're in? So they talk 4D, 5D. I think I've seen 9D. We'll just say 50D. How about 111D? So have fun with everything. Laugh more, allow more. This is Michael Andre Ford, San Antonio, Texas, your angel intuitive. Get in touch any which way. Get a group together if you wish. I keep saying that, so there must be something percolating around. And my social media, I try to keep that up to date. The website, I think I'm doing pretty well on. Get in touch. Thank you very much. Have a great 2023. And remember, if there are no limits in life, maybe there are really no limits. What will you allow for? Everything is already within here. Give yourself a break and have more fun. Take care.